Convince Me. It's regular time slot as we discuss players, teams, and topics. The fellas try to convince me that their point of view is correct. We'll score points in the process. So let's play our game. David, you'll start us off.
All right.
Convince me Russell Westbrook will get to the record and post 10 consecutive triple-doubles.
Well, the reason he'll get it is because he's not working for it. I don't believe he's working for it. I believe that this is coming in out of the flow, and the things that he does have to work for, like the rebounds, the other guys on the team don't mind. I was starting to worry about that with the rebounds especially. Points, no problem. He's the best scorer on the team. Assists, no problem. He's the best passer on the team. But rebounds, Steven Adams is the best rebounder on the team. But if Steven Adams, as I said the other day, is cool with Westbrook getting rebounds, if it makes it easier for Adams because you don't have to bang as much, then I think he's got a great shot at this.
Sammy, a little extra information now as we're going to talk about their schedule coming up here. Boston on Sunday, then Tuesday at Portland, and Wednesday would be at Utah. That would be the 10th. But Boston's going to be a tough one, too. Boston has not allowed a triple-double with Brad Stevens as coach since January of 2014.
Well, I hear all that, Vince, and you got your little stats and everything, but the way it's styled and how you play, Boston play up-tempo. So he's going to get the rebounds in the triple-double. Portland plays up-tempo. The
And
team,
they don't guard nobody.
Exactly. The team with the snag is the Utah Jazz. Why? They play a slow-down, very deliberate game. They have the fewest possessions for 48 minutes in the entire NBA. And they have a 7'2" center in the middle named Rudy Gobert that can block shots and rebound. Because of the style of play and the size of Utah and how they play, I think that's what Russ going to come up short. The Utah Jazz will stop him.
Wow. Sam says no, you say
I'll
yes.
say yes.
Just because I want it to happen, I want to say yes. So David, I have
Well,
to
I
give
knew
you
you
the
was going
point.
with the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
anyway.
well, you know, I want to see it happen. So I don't
Two old guys, one semi-old guy, and an old raggedy book.
Wow.
Hey,
Wow.
this book is knowledge.
The Bible.
Stand by. Moving on. Convince me, Sam, that the Clippers are who we thought they were. Who we thought they were.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to say the Clippers are still a championship contender for this reason. I'm going back to what you said last night. A week and a half ago, they went into Cleveland and they dismantled the Cleveland Cavaliers. All right, the defending champions, they dismantled them. Now, it's a long season, and you cannot just take one game, even though the Golden State game, Golden State has dominated them, and they pointed to that game on their calendar. I think they got 3 more times to play Golden State this year, at least 2 or 3 for sure. So they got a chance to right the ship and erase that bad memory against Golden State. But I'm going to say the Clippers are still a championship contender. They got a championship coach. They got Blake Griffin, who's rededicated himself again. And they have Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, J.J. Redick. They have the pieces, but do they have the mindset? I'm going to say they still are a championship contender.
And David, this is a team that's lost 5 of 7 after that great start.
Yeah, and the problem that I have with them as a championship contender is this very thing. We talked about this last night. Great teams don't lose 3 games in a row. Great teams don't lose 5 out of 7.
Nope.
They just don't. They figure out a way to win. Even they win ugly. They got to win games 90 to 87. They win those games. I don't understand LA sometimes. I just don't understand where they approach the game sometimes. Because, as you mentioned, we did that game in Cleveland. They were as locked in as any team I've seen all year. And they took Cleveland apart, and Cleveland wanted to win. They were coming off a bad loss themselves. So Cleveland was hyped for that game. And then they just lay an egg at home against Golden State, who seems to have their number. Was it 7 straight Golden States beat them?
That's correct.
That's a red flag to me.
I agree, but when you look at this Clipper team, they're older. Chris Paul, some of the guys, they're older. And I think they're going to have to pick and choose their spots. They're not built like Golden State. Golden State can win 65, 68 games. The way they built and how they play.
Right.
The Clippers are an older group of guys. So they have to kind of alter based on the night and the schedule. They kind of have to alter how they play a little bit, not making excuses for them because I was very disappointed because that's Golden State. That's a statement game. But it's a lot of basketball. They got a great coach in Doc Rivers.
True.
They have great players.
And their
they
bench
have the
is much
players to
better
do,
now.
and the bench is better.
Yeah.
I will say this. There are some red flags. I agree. But only because I'm in the holiday spirit. I'm going to continue to have joy in my heart and believe. But I'm close. I still believe.
I know that.
But I'm close. It's like Santa. You know, I still want to believe. I want to believe. Sammy, I'll give you that point for sure. All right. Convince me, David, that Phil Jackson's public comments, the string of them with, you know, the posse and use of the triangle and now Melo holding the ball, do they help or do they hinder the Knicks ultimately?
I don't think they help them all that much. But to me, like, if he said these things and he was the president of basketball operations of the Minnesota Timberwolves, nobody would care. The fact he says them in New York, and it's immediately a back page story, and it's immediately a controversy, and it has to be addressed. That's why I think it becomes a bigger story. Now, look, he's a big boy. He's lived in a big city for a long time. He knows exactly what's going to happen when he says things like that. If the Knicks weren't playing as well as they're playing and winning games despite all this nonsense that Phil's spouting, I'd be a little more worried. But they seem to be playing through it and playing well.
I'm going to say it's going to help them, just to take an opposing view for this reason. Phil Jackson, the Zen master, is no dummy. So he understands. He's dealt with the media. He understands in New York when you say anything, it's like the President of the United States, you don't just make casual statements. So when he says these things, people are going to react to him. And you listen to what Carmelo said. These guys are closing ranks. It's us against him. We're going to show you, Phil, that we're a better basketball team than what you've given us credit for. And at the end of the day, that's all he wants. He's put this team together. He understands. His legacy and management is based on what they do this year. If they don't make the playoffs, it's going to be a big black eye for Phil Jackson in his career in management. So I think he's took a calculated risk of saying these things and kind of calling out Carmelo because they are playing well, and he wants to keep them focused, and he'd rather have them pissed off at him and proving something to him and rally these guys. And think about it. These guys are coming together slowly, and when you bring a bunch of new players together with a lot of things to prove, you got to find different techniques and different things to bring them together. And what does Phil care if they manage?
I get it. I get motivate, but I also get annoy a little bit. And, you know, the Melo comment came right as they had won 4 in a row.
Yeah.
LeBron's coming to town. Did you say that it didn't hurt? Was that
I said
true?
it hurts them a little, but I don't think it hurts them that much because they seem to be playing.
No,
through
see, I don't like
Well,
it.
they're veterans.
I don't like, no
like
points.
DA said, if
You
a
guys are
young
both
team,
wrong.
it could have destroyed.
It doesn't make sense. It has no place there. Come on, man. You're not helping. You're not helping with that. These guys know what they have to do. They absolutely do. So I can't award a point there. But it is 1-1. We're down to the final question.
we got one more.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay.
Sam, since
Lightning
you're
round.
former NBA Coach of the Year, the bottle toss, is it the next bench craze in the NBA? Huh? What do you think about that as a bench activity? What do you think about
As
the
a
bottle toss?
coach, I wouldn't want my guys.
This is
doing
going on
that.
in the Garden
I understand.
during the
I
game.
wouldn't want them doing that, but think about something. Don't get beat by 30 if you don't want the opposing team doing these type of antics during the game. You're supposed to be in a competitive game, and if the game was close, I guarantee you they wouldn't be doing these type of things. I wouldn't like it as the coach, but when you're a championship caliber team, my thing as a player in that locker room, when we used to tell Reggie Miller, talk as much as you want because we're going to bag you up. We got your back. So if I'm on that Cleveland team, guys, we do whatever we want to do because we the bullies of the block, and we walk it, and we talk it, and we're going to do what we want to do.
Are you okay with bottle tosses?
No.
And tell us why.
Find something else to do. Find something else to do with your time. Look, I'm with Sam on one thing. Shut them up. You don't like it, shut them up. But, you know, that's just kind of to me, it's like, not only is it just something to do, it's like,
It's disrespectful. Just call it.
It is.
I don't even care what the other team's
There's a
doing.
game going on, man. I mean, so, you know what? I have to give you the point because I agree. That's disrespectful. So
I
it's
win.
2-1.
I win.
David won. Now, here we go.
I figured the old guys with the old book on
There we
hand,
go.
so
I knew
it was
I'll give you a chance to
setup.
redeem yourself. You
Appreciate
didn't
it.
win.
Okay,
Give me
one
the
toss.
No. Toss it.
One toss.
Not good at the bottom
Give it a
toss.
shot. Give it a shot, DA.
All right, one shot. One shot for all the team.
Come on. Make a play.
All right, convince me.
We got to go.
right, here
We got to go. All right, I
That
can't even
was
hold it.
terrible. That was awful. That's the worst I've ever seen. They weren't even close.
I got nothing.
That was dreadful.
We're going to work on it and break.